What is going on, people? Welcome back. Johnny here. We are going to pick up with the Dwarfs. They're going to do some hold expansions, some cleanup. No comments today, but hey-ho, there you go. Recording pretty quick to when the last one went out. So anyways, our tree inside wood creation plant will be making great progress on as well. But nonetheless, we constantly are short on wood, especially in the winter when we're trying to keep everything warm. So at the moment, we're working on expanding security. Still smoothing. There's always going to be smoothing to do. We're gathering wood, which again seems like something we're always doing. We actually have 700 and something right now, so I can't complain too much. But by the time they rebuild all those traps, I need to find a lot of veins of cheap metal maybe, and just see about, like, if I make traps out of tin, how much damage do they do versus wood? And if it's equivalent, fuck it, we just cook through the tin, because I've been using tin for the massive gates because it's just a cheaper, abundant material. And as long as it's not an actual exterior to the hold and outside of the security or exposed to the security zones, doesn't matter if it's low strength, it still looks cool and does the job. You can also see I was using copper for the doors quite a bit. I'm getting shells put in. I swear I did that last episode, but anyway, as soon as we rebuild traps, animals fucking come in and walk on them. So we're going to just close the exterior door at this point and see if we can get some security back in place. If somebody does come in and smack through that wall, hopefully they only go through one wall. They never do. They always go through multiple walls. We do get Buffalo revenge at that point because we are hunting some of the ones that came in and were injured. Dakam drops the muffalo she's carrying and whips out her badass Skaven gun and starts kapowing. See that? It's a very powerful weapon. It actually might cause toxic buildup too, but no. Okay, good. It is a bit of warp technology from the Skaven. So we're still working on expanding our fungal plank farm. I'm going to need to find a way to keep this warm so these trees grow. So I'm going to run some piping through, and I'm going to put a big heater in the south end of that section. And then if we can keep those things at 70 degrees, all those fungal plank, I don't want to call them trees, all those mushrooms will grow faster and we'll be able to harvest the wood that much sooner. We can also use this for some redundancy in our piping system. We'll just loop around here. Wouldn't be bad to put some redundancy into the south as well, probably where our second one is, because right now there's a single point of failure on that path, and we frequently get these skyfallers that want to come in and smash us up from the inside. And again, as soon as our wood takes over, we'll have internal trap corridors, but right now they're just regular internal corridors. There's a copper meteorite that falls out of the sky. That'll be a little bonus. We're running a bit short on copper since I've been using it so much. You can see our steam pipe situation is decent. Sorry, I got distracted halfway through a sentence. We have 11 points. I'm waiting to get some really good spells, some extra add-on spells with Gotrik. I'm also trying to use his forge spell, but even though it looks like it's renewed and ready, it is not ready to go. So I have to wait another day or so. It just takes so long that... Oh yeah, okay, here we go. So I actually hadn't put this in yet. I forgot. But we are going to put it in. There's going to be a single point of failure on this. And I could do some mining on the other side and open up a corridor from north to south. We are going to use a fair amount of gold getting heating devices set up in this episode. So maybe next episode I make it a priority that until we acquire additional gold, I'm not going to stop recording. So that could backfire. So as soon as we get established here, we'll set up a massive caravan process, and we'll be caravanning for gold to all of our allies to see what we can acquire and trade. Now we also at some point need to start making things that are worth money, because right now we have nothing outside of the odds and ends we acquire from those that attempt to assault us. So you can make these radiators out of metal. You can make them out of stone. If you make them out of stone, it takes considerably more effort to build. Same for these dowie planter beds. The stone ones take a long time to build. So Given the abundance of material, though, that's the route I'm going to take. And in terms of research, I bounce around a lot. I want to start making Empire clothing for the humans, but also we have capes, and I need basic warm clothes for them. I guess we'll do warm apparel for the dwarfs, because if we could make dwarven fur-lined cloaks, at least that'll do something for them. And that's the abundance of our people. So wealth, you can see where that's at. I don't know, it feels like everything's happening really slow, but even though I feel like I do have a lot of pawns here, at least the planting's happening. I don't know why those are separated. There we go, there's our steam boiler. We have plenty of extra steam now, or we will when it attaches completely. But Marsa is inspired. Some of our fungal plants getting ready to be ready for harvest. There's a whole bunch of pissed off trolls that show up also. But fortunately, the gate's already closed, and we don't really give a shit. We're still working on building traps. There you go. So our Nice large dwarf steam radiator does keep all these spaces at 70 degrees. And again, I don't know why those are separated. I'm used to separating planting areas to mitigate. We don't have wood to keep the stove running. Anyways, to mitigate blight. And you don't really have to do that with the fungal plank, but regardless, it's just habit. I'm not going to smooth those growing rooms. Seems like a lot of work for nothing. Volcanic winter fires up at that point too. So good thing we have the trees going. We might have to get an inside crop zone going here too. So we do have plenty of space to make that happen with the growing zones. We should probably get on top of that sooner rather than later. So yeah, I don't know. If only we had a ton of wood. Like we're out, and we spend most of these episodes out. And again, it's all the traps that are sucking that down. So I've built 7 steam radiators. They're going to build just to get all the bedrooms properly warm. Volcanic winter is going to make everything cold. Those bedrooms should share enough heat around the hold to keep everything a nice and pleasant 70 degrees. So we're going to try and the rice gets blighted, but it's not really harvestable at this point anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to try and harvest everything I can. It's getting extremely cold and plants are dying at night. So back to the Empire. I'm going to do Empire apparel. We need to at least be able to make an Empire tailor bench and get some stuff going in that regard. And it's time to make a bunch of warm Dowie cloaks. I shouldn't probably have been selling off all my textiles. We don't have anything awesome to make it out of. I don't want to make them out of cloth, though, so we're just going to shit can that plan. Uric. And he's not taking the message, but whatever. There you go. He won't restart it out of cloth. So outside, security's coming up. We still don't have wood to keep the stove fired constantly. And there's no other option. We do have an incapacitated refugee nearby. Again, going through the mountains, it's quite a haul at 3.5 days. So we do have the horses to speed things up, but also I don't think we can leave the map because of all those trolls over there. So maybe they've buggered off by this point, though. I'm going to flesh out these other bedrooms before we take on new people. The radiators do take 3 gold, and again, our gold count continues to drop despite that being the whole point of this playthrough. At some point it'll be magical. We'll have the we won't have the ultimate in equipment because those take a lot of gold too. So unless we find a way to acquire massive amounts of gold, everybody's starving and eating raw food right now because I don't have wood to fuel the stove. I should put a shelf with wood on it in there and forbid it just to keep some wood on hand for this problem. It's more than a little frustrating. New healing light on Gotrik. Or, yeah, I was just testing to see if it would get rid of something. It didn't do anything to him, so. Actually heals open wounds and tens and stuff like that. So we did find some fuel. Not a full load, but like 14 wood. Turns out it takes like 2 or 3 pieces of wood just to cook 4 meals. It's kind of bananas. So, mining, making some open space here, working on the hallway smoothing. Trolls have wandered in again. And yeah, that Hydra has never left. It's just been hanging out forever. All of our traps are rebuilt, finally, and we have our doors closed out there, so none of the animals can destroy them again. Ay, ay, ay. That's been... It's a problem every time you play RimWorld. I'm going to go for Dwarven Recreation. We can get a nice big recreation room built. That'd be cool. This room is going to be a blasting room. We need to start making black powder and war machines to protect the front of the hold. War, who is a pyromaniac, does go on a pyromantic mental break. And with this many pawns, it's not a big deal. If you have like one or two of those guys sprinkled in, but generally I avoid the pyro, as you are no doubt well aware if you're still watching this. I will turn down an amazing pawn. Ooh, Empire Goods Trader. They never have wood though. And again, I'm going to sell a bunch of my textiles. I'm tempted on this dragon orb because it's essentially a heating statue. Wing boots. There's a lot of good stuff that we could buy. We certainly don't need to buy any meat. That's for damn sure. So whatever. Components are always worthwhile because at some point, well, I'm always under, we also buy an Empire iron chandelier, but the components I'm always used to having to build like massive amounts of armor and stuff, which consume massive amounts of components. Also the war machines, like the flame cannon takes 12 components. We've cooked through all of our textiles between selling them and I shouldn't have done that, but whatever. I didn't think about the fact that I was trying to make warm cloaks. So between the few cloaks we've made and the sale, well, we're down to sheep wool. There's still a mega sloth trapped inside here with us. I'm not too concerned with them. At some point, we'll go deal with it. And we have a lot of smoothing to do. And there's that chandelier. It looks awesome, right? Dino definitely outdoes himself every time. But anyways, a lot of smoothing to do. And what's going to be the munitions room, should we ever get around to cooking, blasting, improved fire, and flame guns. Yeah, this is the beginning of the end for how the last game went. Yeah, we'll see. You just have to be very careful about keeping doors open when you use it. So if we can ever get wood, we could actually make black powder. We can do a lot of fun stuff. So hopefully our trees start coming to fruition. There's a mad raccoon, and a slayer takes off after it with a giant axe and brings it down. At least the slayers are good for something. Didn't even get hurt. That's nice. So there you go. Saber Tusk Revenge, because there's a war merchant showing up, and war merchants generally aren't good for much. Our animals are starving. We may have to get rid of the sheep and try and keep the horse. I don't know what else to do. It's midwinter. We don't have a great way to keep all these guys alive. So, you know, I'm just going to bite the bullet and kill all the sheep off. I've been really enjoying, we even have a muffalo there. Really enjoying, we're going to get rid of the muffalo too. Having all this sheep wool and mutton around, but I guess we'll have mutton for years here. They have griffins for sale, which I find interesting, but not gonna do it. We're just gonna sell some random stuff we don't want. I should have smelted those for material, but whatever. Too much to do, too little time. I'm just debating on getting into burial. I think I'm gonna go down the blasting path and see if we can't do some fun stuff with that. Again, it's gonna require black powder, but whatevs. So it's also time we expanded our eating area. I need to first make it a little bigger so I can get some pillars or columns in there. And then after that, we can go nuts. I just don't want any roof collapses before we get things stable. I don't need the ceiling collapsing during a feast. So there's the columns. Dino recently redid the images for those from my originals as well. Sad to see all my images go, but it's awesome to see much better artwork quality in the mods, so I'm not going to complain. We have a fair number of horses left, and that's it. Hopefully they can scrape by. They are hungry. We could dump some food down there for the horses if we need to. They at least will be useful on Caravan, and if at some point hopefully we can upgrade them to war horses from the Rimhammer mod series, because they're even better. And we do have some 68 wood in stockpile now that the traps have been built. So and we've also been harvesting our fungal plank, and that's where we've acquired that. So that's good. We have the shape of the room finished. We also need to get a ton of furniture built, and boom, there you go. You like how things happen so fast? As I stare at the screen for 15 minutes. Another trader comes in, another war merchant, and any poor cloaks or crappier cloaks. Thinking about selling, but we're down under 1,000 gold at this point. 997. I gotta either find a way to acquire it. I should just turn somebody into gold. Anytime a trader comes, we attack them with that spell and turn them into gold. I mean, we could try and turn some of our own people into gold too. It might. I don't know if it would affect friendlies or not. There's a bear. The bears have shown up. Look at that, a cave bear. That's pretty awesome. So there are 4 new types of bears. I think it's polar, cave, great, and southern. And yeah, Dino made all those. They're going to be a part of the next big release for the Empire. And they look super badass. There's also a bear mantle bit of clothing that you can make now, and it's pretty cool. Another infestation strikes, but I'm not too worried. Usually this would really stress a fella out. I think I'm going to make this room even smaller. We did get quite a few of them in there that time again. Nothing that we certainly can't deal with, but I mean, we could mitigate this problem down to nothing if we just enclose our thumper in a tiny, tiny room. It might not even cause an infestation, or just, one. But anyways, we shoot him to bits. We did lose the infestation thumper again, which is not fantastic, but also not the end of the world. Again, more gold's going to go. 997 is going to go down at least another 10, because that's going to cost 10 gold to build. And we get ready for them to bust out through the door again. They are making some pretty significant damage to the walls in here. You can see Abula's snares dropped a few. It's like fish in a barrel, though. And we almost have them all dead here. So from now on, I won't so thoroughly record the infestations. I think we've proven the thumper is effective, and we can contain this problem in a way that it shan't be responsible for destroying our dwarven hold again. And I think I'm going to put some flame guns over there and see if we can't just go over there and just gut them with flame and run the hell out of there. If we have 2 doors out there and close them on our way out, probably they would just cook in there and we could be like, meh, that was pretty awesome. So cook, Skaven, cook. Now again, these do leave you material that we really like. These Skaven glowers. They do time out after, I think it's 45 days or something like that. So they don't last forever. We're doing some beautification to the front of the hold as well. We still have the old plank floor and wooden tribal wall. I purchased a pole light from, it's a new thing added image-wise by Dino. So I purchased one from one of those traders. We're going to set that up out there. And it's one of those things that when you rotate, you just get different views on it. It doesn't actually rotate into, different views based on direction. It just makes it look different in general. So anyways, it's fun, and I'll probably end up moving it inside eventually. We also make some sheeple meditation cushions and get rid of those little dirt piles we had on the floor before. A lot of the smoothing has been finished. We're making fantastic progress in that regard. We have plenty of Skaven lights around. If only I could encourage an infestation. We've reworked the eating area, and we're researching towards blasting and making great progress. I mean, we've come a long way this time. Dealt with a handful of bullshit. I'm going to make a few Drake guns, but they're not really going to do it until we can get some black powder on hand. Also, I should change my black powder, because right now they're just going to do it forever. There's that cave bear. I'm very tempted to try and tame that thing, but I think it's a 38% chance that it'll attack us. So you can see what the new front entrance to the gate, to the hold is going to look like. Some proper floors. We'll keep it clean. I might just floor up the whole area out there. I'm torn. It's probably a stupid spot to try and grow food. It's just going to get destroyed. But this room is extremely impressive now. And, I mean, at least the front. We need to get some flame cannons going. That's the last piece of this puzzle. Maybe some organ guns as well. And then we'll be good. We're going to get on to advanced blasting for research. People love the new party room. Hanging out. We have 20 cigarettes left, which probably isn't going to go too far with this many folks. But they're enjoying them nonetheless during a little party over there. And we have to do some walls over here. I'm just going to close off this little cave area that formed. It's fine. And I moved that pole inside and give it a different, simpler view. I'm going to put building storage down south there. I don't really know where to put those things for now. So any buildings you see laying around, they'll end up down there if they're in a box. Elsewise, what else can we make? Drake guns. Yeah, this is what I need to fix. We need 20 wood to do some black powder and to do a bulk black powder. It's just not happening right now. Again, that's a problem we have to find a way to solve. I'm thinking trade is going to be the way if we can come back. It's just so heavy to haul wood. These guys bring another bear with them. Look at that. And we're going to buy it. We're going to buy the Great Bear, male 13. And I don't know what we're going to really sell, but not gold. We're at 984 gold. We can't keep selling gold. We can actually afford him. So, bam. Great Bear joins. We can ride that fucker too. It's gonna be awesome. I might have to add in that animal riding mod. I don't remember if I brought it into this game. I know the current Beastman game has it active. I'm just gonna let him roam around unrestricted too, and we'll train him up fully. And yeah, there you go. That's gonna be awesome. He's gonna be pretty brutal in battle as well. So we'll call him Battle Bear once we get him trained. I wonder if Dino is going to make armor for that guy too. A lot of stuff to do yet, but we've made fantastic progress, and it's not going to be long before we focus on getting our trading situation set up. We can get a rotating caravan that comes and goes frequently. This is going to be a drug lab for making cigarettes and dubers and those kind of odds and ends. And it feels worthwhile. There you go. And it's done. I get a kick out of that. I'm sorry, but please, you guys, leave me a like if you're enjoying. That bear is wild out there, so we could totally tame a wild bear. Leave me a comment. I read them all. I respond. I'll work your name and comment into the episodes. We do have 545 wood now, which is freaking monumental too. So I think we're ending on a good note for once there's no mad animals rampaging. There are rotting Skaven, but that's not a bad thing, I suppose. I love you guys, and I do appreciate your time today and ideas on where we should go next in terms of the hold. I know we should definitely start acquiring gold. Trust me, I'm aware, painfully. We will get some more gold next time, no matter what I have to do. I'll see ya.